today's series. We're gonna start with Kulenovići versus Lupus, and Kulenovići they're known with starting off with early pressure just as I speak of it this time, but instead of a jinx, it actually becomes useful. So Kulenovići they go on an early lead in just 2 seconds only.
Yeah, 2 seconds for the first goal. Didn't even get a chance to say hello to the teams, and they're scoring on us. A very good start for the 7th place team here. But we could see a equalizer straight away, which we do. 2 goals in the opening 7 seconds, this time by Sleeps.
No way, we're just like almost 10 seconds in, and the caster jinx is like, it's already showing, you know. But like I said, for Kulenovići, that team is known for starting off really early with the pressure. Like as soon as the kickoff gets to happen, they just start to keep pressuring their opponents until they get forced to make a mistake. So, as I was just about to mention that, we get to see them having a kickoff goal and just getting an early goal as well in the series. I think that could be really huge for Kulenovići. Just like every time I get to see them playing, they always manage to deliver from the beginning of the series.
Yeah, definitely. Now, as we look to the action there, Crow trying to force something to happen. Askella also taking it to their opponents. Oh, and it hits the ceiling, hits the crossbar, hits the floor, ceiling again, and it's 2-1 to Lupus. The team that maybe are the underdogs coming into this are taking a early-ish lead after being 1-0 down.
I mean, Alton, he was in position, but if you look at how he was placing his car, he was maybe a bit too deep inside of the net. He wasn't even able to get the touch. Maybe he wasn't expecting the ball to go in because it was just bouncing off the crossbar up and down, and just maybe he was hoping for something, but he gave him so much time and Sleeps with a double tap right there, extending the lead.
Yeah, second goal for the captain of Lupus. The man is the captain for the reason. He's got the most goals in the team, the most assists in the team, and the most saves in the team, and really is got all the goals so far for the Lupus team in the opening minute.
Through the transfer week, I've been even more confident when it comes to watching Lupus playing. They had 2 players basically switching teams, and this is basically a different roster for Lupus compared to the beginning of the season. Except for Sleeps, he stayed there. You know, like he's a captain, of course. So I'm really confident to see how Lupus they're gonna be performing against a higher level team like Kulenovići, for example. So far, they're doing very well right from the start. But the question is, can they just keep on doing this all the way through the series? That is the question for Lupus.
Yeah, we saw this earlier on in the week where the underdog team did go 1-0 up twice and then ended up losing the game. As we see Crow trying to add the pressure, trying to make it 4, but unable to. Vernis with a shot. Sleeps, with a shot. Odin with the save. Oh, another shot there from Sleeps. It just hits the crossbar. And, another save from Starlord as Askella takes a shot. Crow now trying to hit it to the bottom left-hand corner, but Sleeps up, been booted away there. But this is great pressure from the side that's only won 3 this season.
This is definitely a good start for them, and I'm really hoping to see how things gonna turn out at the end, because so far I think they are in a good start, like I said, but things they get to change so quickly from what I've seen here at Liga Raketa. But I think Sleeps is just being, like I said, you know, he's obviously cracked. Like after the roster change, this is a whole different Sleeps from what I've seen. He's able to show up and the offense as well. We have seen him coming up with so many shots and a beautiful pass right there. But it's going to be off the backboard and nobody was there to follow, so it's going to be Starlord with a clear.
But Crow's just taking it away there, trying to keep that pressure on as Vernis beats him to it. It's now for one of the first or second times in this game in Lupus's half. Starlord looking to keep the pressure on, unable to. It Sleeps there with a shot from distance. Vernis with the save. Crow looking to center it. But it was a 50-50 ball that was sort of a stalemate in the middle. Now, Lupus trying to defend it, turns into an attack, unable to mount anything there.
It's gonna be Sleeves having to buy some extra time for his teammate to be rotating back. He's also gonna be getting the 50 to get the ball out of danger. It's gonna be Sleeves one more time with another 50.
Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication there from Sleeps and Crow, but Sleeps still has the ball. Sleeps still got the ball, unable to do anything with it, just gets hit to the left-hand side. Crow just bumping into Sleeps again, the second time in about 10 seconds where their two cars have met. Crow now with the ball in the air against the backboard. Oh, what a great center there. Starlord looks to hit it away, but Sleeps there to hit it. Aldin, sorry, not Aladdin, with the shot from distance, but saved.
Really good pressure so far, and Sleeves with another shot. What an incredible save from Vernus, but it's gonna be a Skeller with a follow, and still it's gonna be off target, and now 30 seconds left. It's gonna be Crow putting the ball away. It's gonna be Sleeves again just trying to backpass. That kinda looked really awkward, and Eldin, he was so quick to follow this one up, and Starlord almost got the second touch of the backboard, and Lupus, they are able to clear the ball away the last 10 seconds right now, and Lupus, seems like they're going to be taking game one, and they're off with a good start. They did a really good job at holding the lead, and also the pressure from the beginning, and just how they turned things around right off the start. It was definitely not the best way to concede a goal, which is a kickoff goal like in just 2 seconds. But they managed to find a way to respond back and also extend the lead and just keep it at 3-1 for so long. Lupus, they are definitely on the right spot.
Yeah, looking into near the end of that game where that opportunity for Lupus to go 4-1 up, they squandered. I can't say the other team, I just can't pronounce it. The other team.
Oh, it's Kulenovići.
Kulenovići. that probably sounds very bad, but
I mean, it's alright. It happens. Like, this is basically the same thing for me, and I just became a caster for Liga Raketa, because, you know, it's like Eastern European names are kind of difficult for, like, maybe people or yeah, like maybe enjoy. Yeah, that's fair to say it that way. But after a while, you're gonna get used to it. And if you have Sleeves, if he was like actually managing the sim, he would actually just mute you out, and he just gets to correct you, and like just goes back to normal. This is what I really missed about Sleeves, but he's actually playing right now. He's still doing a really good job, and I mean, there's like nothing really bad about who's handling the team right now. But Sleeves, he's like, I don't know, he's like really lighthearted, and you know, he's there to actually correct you if you actually mispronounce somebody's name. So this is pretty good.
yeah,
But there's nothing really bad. I mean, the players' names, I mean, they're still easy to pronounce, so you can go with the orange side instead of Kulenovići.
Yeah, as we look to the game, Kulon, the orange team. I'm not going to be able to say their name at all. As we look at Lupus trying to mount an attack, cross goal from Askella, unable to do anything with it. Starlord trying to mount an attack, but Askella straight back on them. As they went 1-0 down, only 12 seconds longer it took them to concede. So a little bit of an improvement from the last game, but they haven't found a answer to that goal yet, as Sleeps crosses it to the center to Crow. Crow unable to get there, but does get the demolition on Starlord as Askella gets up and hits it to the left-hand side.
Be followed by Crow right now, and just in the defensive positioning from Kulenovići, from what I'm noticing right now, it just seems like so many players are just very close towards each other, and that's gonna cause a lot of confusion for the team. Like, who's gonna go for it, even though they're gonna be having communication. But obviously, if the ball is very close in front of your box, you won't be having enough time to make things clear and just avoid the confusion. So I think this is kind of giving them a hard time. And also for Lupus, they're finding it really easy to maintain the pressure from the start, even though they're still down by 1 goal. But 1 goal is just never enough to have a lead at 3v3, and especially with just like 3 minutes remaining.
Yeah, 3 minutes remaining. There's only 1 goal in it. A lot could happen in that time. Odin, the shot wasn't on target, but he wanted to take it to that right-hand side to mount an attack, which he does. It's in the Lupus's final part. Starlord looking for a shot, unable to get it anywhere near strong enough to trouble the defender in the Lupus goal. as we see Aladdin hit the ball out now, straight up to Lupus's side. But Lupus, no worries about that. We'll just pump it away. And it's a bit of a tennis match almost through end to end right now between the two teams.
Halfway in is just with that one goal for Kulenovići. But Lupus, even though it seems like they're able to get some pressure, but just not looking the same as how it was in game 1. So also we're still seeing some double commits still from Lupus. So this is kind of throwing away players from the defense and just kind of creating some gaps for Kulenovići to take advantage of.
As Starlord there has a shot from distance, hits the backboard, sleeps on the second attempt, manages to get it away, but Starlord still with the ball here, looking to hit it against the side. Maybe a nice bounce into the center, which no one was there to attack. Crow hits it away, and now Lupus back on the attack again, but Alden there just to hit it away. It's very end-to-end, but it looks like an open goal here. No worries. Alden goes 2-0 up, and this game is looking to be leveled.
It's just like nobody was there in the back, you know? It's just like we haven't seen an open net goal right there. I'm not sure if the first goal was an open net, but I wasn't really paying that much attention as I was like talking about the team name, you know? But it's like, how do you just maintain the pressure for so long until you actually get to forget the defensive rotation? I think that's definitely not a good sign. You have been doing so well in the previous game, but it's like in game 2, we're not seeing that much of pressure, but instead we're just seeing some kind of double commits and also accidental team bumps instead.
Yeah, a little bit more sloppy, a little less conjoined, a little less on the team side of things. They may have got a little bit excited going 1-0 up against a team that is 10 points in front, that should be beating them. They maybe got a little bit carried away, and this is maybe a statement to say, look, we're better than that first game. We're going to come back. We're 2-0 up this game. We're going to take it by the horns now.
For Kulenovići, I mean, it's kind of rare to see where teams get to win against each other, like back-to-back, for example. Most of the times, it's just like that team just gets to win twice in a row. But this time, it seems like we're going to see Lupus takes game 1, and Kulenovići, they're going to be taking game 2. So I think that's kind of keeps the series as close as possible. And that was a beautiful demo coming from Sleeps, but the shot was a bit too delayed. And now that's still going to be 0 for Lupus.
Yeah, as the timer hits 0 here, through the goal. A cancellation goal is all it was. Askella with the goal right at the end to make the score 2-1 rather than 2-0. Yeah, and that's that. The second game nowhere near as entertaining as the first, a bit more end-to-end tennis-like with not much happening, not much team play. Hopefully Lupus can sort that out going into the third game, and we see a player disconnecting from you say the name.
So I think,
Kulenovići.
yeah, if he's having difficulties, I think we may have to recreate a private match. Or never mind, I think
It's a sub.
Yeah, someone is about to sub in, and if you have been watching RLCS, well, we have seen so many miracles happening when a sub just joins in. But I'm not sure if that's gonna happen here at Liga Raketa, though. I really wonder who that sub is, but
I've just had a little look on the top right-hand corner of my top left-hand corner of my screen, and if we're able to do that and the sub does come in, it will be the team captain Sino, the man who has the most goals in the team. Oh,
well, this is definitely this could be definitely a scary thing for Lupus. I mean, when we started, like they had great pressure and they managed to win 3-1, for example, against Kulenovići. But if somebody who's like got the most scores in this team, like he subbed in, and that's gonna be even more difficult for Lupus.
It's going to be even
holding the momentum.
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's already got more difficult for Lupus, as Lupus has only got 2 players at the start of this match.
Not sure what is going on for Lupus.
We only have Sleeps and Crow on the Lupus side, and we have the subbed in Sino. Star-Lord and Venus for Kulenovići.
Not sure if we're gonna keep on playing like this, but it seems like Sleeps has already stopped.
There we go. Skella has joined back the match, so it is now back to a 3v3 situation. No goals gone in, so no harm done so far for Lupus. But we have the 2 sets of 3 back, and it's going to be a even game.
There are even more things to look out forward to. Like, what do you think about Sino just subbing in? Like, how do you think that's going to be affecting Kulenovići? Like, is it going to be in a good way, or just like maybe it's still going to look the same?
Well, Kulenovići has not looked like a side that are 10 points ahead of Lupus so far in this series. So maybe it's a, look, I'm the captain, you guys seem like you're struggling, we need to bring in that extra amount of pressure, that extra goals that Sino has in the team. Maybe they wanted to rotate a player, Sino have a back seat, because they didn't think this was going to be much of a competition. They didn't think that Lupus would take the first game. Maybe rest Sino, give an opportunity to the other player to play. But as we see, nearly 2 minutes in, and it's still 0-0 so far in this third game, and 1 apiece so far in the series. As Sleeps hits it forward for Star-Lord, just to hit it down to the right-hand side of his net.
I haven't seen much in this game, even though that's kind of a good pressure coming from Kulenovići. It just seems like Lupus, they have been stuck in the blue side for a bit longer compared to Kulenovići. Even though, like, most of the times the ball just go there, it just gets immediately shut down and just sent back to the blue side. So for Kulenovići, I think they are definitely on the good track right now. Just seems like they have been maybe there's like some kind of shift in the momentum since especially like after game 2, and right now, even though we're still scoreless, but it seems like Kulenovići, they're just doing a better job at having the ball in the blue side and just waiting for a chance to happen where they just maybe make a mistake in the defense and they could be taking advantage of.
Yeah, as longer as this game goes on, the longer it stays 0-0. People will be thinking that just that one mistake or just that one moment of magic will decide the whole game. As not a great direct there from the Kulenovići player, going straight to the middle, but could work out. As Sino shots from distance, a great set, unlucky there from Sleeps. I thought it was going to be saved, but Sleeps just manages to divert it, not enough, but goes into the right-hand corner of their net to go down to a 1-0 deficit with just under 2 minutes left.
You know, like that tweet was done so fast. Like after that dunk that Star-Lord was trying to get, he was there to follow, and he just went for the shot. And even though Sleeps, he was in the right position.
No.
He also did the right thing. And oh no, what a save from Crow! That was like 90% in, yet he was still able to keep the ball away.
Yeah, you saw that bounce on that right-hand side. That is gets so many players out so frequently. It caught. Was that Sleeps? It caught out. But thankfully, Crow was there just to save it right on the line. Almost goal line technology in football-esque. As Star-Lord there in the air just hits it in. The dominance and starting to show from the team, who have won double the amount Lupus has so far this season. And yeah, go 2-0 up.
You know, you're definitely right when you said about like, since it was 0-0 and like whoever gonna be conceding, like they're definitely gonna be just, you know, like kind of like giving up or something. So yeah, it's like whoever gonna be scoring first, like it's definitely gonna be kind of like taking the game to kind of a whole another direction, even though it just seems to be very close. But just like if you get to score in a very close game, it just kind of puts your opponent in a real difficult situation where they just stay confident and calm to find a way to respond back.
Yeah, definitely. As we've seen all these games so far in this first series of the evening, that it has been a close game. It may not be as close in this third match, as Star-Lord makes it 3 for his team, the second in the game for him. And yeah, it looks like the points, or at least a point, is going to go to Kulenovići.
I mean, it was kind of questionable when just Sleeps went for that kind of pass, and even though there was like 2 players upfield, so there was like absolutely nobody in the back, and also that kind of pass where there's like almost nothing that could be done about that, so that just resulted in an open net, and you really had to see open nets in very close games. And in this series, like, we have seen only 2 happening for Lupus, but it kind of hurts to see because they have been doing so well, especially after like playing against a team like Kulenovići, like I said before. So you really want to minimize your positional mistakes and just want to do your best. But right now, Kulenovići, they take the lead in the series 2-1, and the last game gonna be the answer for the series. Is it gonna be Lupus tying up the series, or it's gonna be Kulenovići winning 3-1?
Well, we see Lupus very, very quick out of the marks on the first game. A good victory in the first game, but have seemed to have almost crumbled in the second and third. So my prediction is Kulenovići is going to take this one and really going to dominate this last one, I believe. I think Lupus, after losing 2 games in a row after a good start, maybe their confidence is knocked. Maybe their belief is not as much as it was finishing the first game.
You're definitely right. Like, it's kind of the it takes also a mindset, or how confident and for how much patience do you have. Actually, like, it can actually affect how you're gonna be playing. Like, so let alone the mechanics, communication, and rotation. So there are like some things that are mental, for example. And you're right, after like getting to win 3-1, and after that we haven't seen much. So it's kind of like they lost the track, and like they just can't perform at like how they did at the beginning. But who knows? Like, I mean, Rocket League can be very unpredictable game. Unless Lupus they take maybe an early goal or 2, they could be shifting up the momentum and just end it up with a draw.
Yeah, early pressure here from the Lupus team, trying to get that early quick goal like Kulenovići has got against them every previous match, bar last game, as they now have to start defending with Starlord with the shot just on the left-hand side of the posters. Sleeps now takes it to their side, looks to get a cross away. He does, but it's too high over and is looking for another cross by Eskela, who finds Sleeps, but Sinnoh gets there just a fraction before. On target. Oh, it's not on target, but he won't miss the second time. Hits the side of the post on the left-hand side. Right-hand side, sorry. Bounces to the left. And Sinnoh there just to tap it in.
Another open net, and you really had to concede the first goal of the last game, and it just gave me another open net. This could be really difficult for Lupus to like make some kind of comeback in this series. Like, even if they're gonna be getting a goal right now, but just like if you compare the results and how things got to be played out, it just seems like Kulenovići, they're just doing so much better compared to Lupus. We have seen Kulenovići starting off really shaky, but just at the end, they got to fix their mistakes maybe, and just like we have seen better offense. And for Lupus, we keep seeing open net goals, and as I speak of open net goal, there is another one, and it's gonna be Sinnoh putting this one in, extending the lead to just 3 minutes 40 seconds left, and there is still plenty of time for this to go the other way around. But so far from Kulenovići, they are absolutely dominating right now.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, Lupus has looked very, very good going forward, but going back, they look really, really bad. In defense, it just feels like every time Kulenovići is attacking, it's going to end up in a goal. As we almost see here, but a great save by Crow. The danger is still there, though, for Lupus. If they can get it away, a great shot from Aldin. Just hits the side of the goal, unable to get that third decisive goal, as Sinnoh goes here for the save after a small bit of Lupus pressure.
The Aldin with a solo play. It's going to be denied by Eskela. Now Starlord. Maybe with the center ball. That wasn't even a center ball, it was an actual shot on target, but Crow with 2 saves in a row. So they stay 2 goals down so far. Micro has been nailing it with those saves, and there's another goal for Kulenovići, 3-0. What is happening for Lupus?
Yeah, Lupus falling apart here from the second game, really. Kulenovići showing that they're a better, a stronger, a more dominant side. That's nothing wrong with Lupus, but sometimes you play a team that you're not as good as. We see that in every league, every esport around the world, and as we see the fourth goal go in there from Aldin, who does actually fly around this Rocket League stadium like Aladdin. It's just domination now.
It really sucks because, you know, it's just like open net goals. They could be easily prevented by just simply having a third man in the back, just trying to buy you some extra time to rotate back. But we're not seeing any kind of maybe last man in the defense at all, because every time they just get to forget about the defensive rotation, they just get to be pushing really hard. It just kind of looks like they're trying their best to have some kind of start, just like how they did in game 1, where they just had to maintain the pressure for so long. They're just trying to do the same thing, but it's not working anymore because Kulenovići, they just have fixed their mistakes. They're just not in the same spot every single time. So for Lupus, you can't just like use the same kind of strategy when your opponents have fixed their mistakes and you can't abuse them anymore.
Yeah, as we see it, this is a massive game for Kulenovići, as they get the 6th goal here. Absolute domination from the side who are looking to push those playoff places. A win today takes them to 6th place.
Now for Lupus, I mean, like, you want to avoid the Brazil at least. There's like 2 minutes, so there's like a lot of time remaining, so you just want to kill the ball. Also kill the time, you know, it's just like you want to stop conceding so many goals from your opponents and just want to keep it like this, or maybe at least try to end it as close as possible. This is like another thing that you could be possibly doing, so maybe just getting a goal or two. I think that could make a very, very small difference when it comes to the standings, but even though like it's already over and Kulenovići, they have won 3-1 in the series.
Yeah, as you say, they're going to want to avoid a Brazil. A Brazil is going back to that 7-1 win for, or 7-1 defeat for Brazil back in the World Cup a few years ago. But looking at this Lupus side, I think they will avoid a Brazil, only due to the fact of I don't think they'll even be able to score a goal in the last minute.
Oh.
As toxic as that might sound, we look here and Lupus had their backs to the wall since the get-go, and it looks like Kulenovići is pressing for that 7th and could easily get an 8th.
No, I mean, that's not toxic because it's obvious they have already given up and there's nothing much that could be done right now. So, but like how you mentioned, like, you don't really want to end up getting Brazil, especially in the last game, where you're gonna be also losing. And so, yeah, it's like getting Brazil in the last game of the series, it could be even more than just a defeat or a loss in the series. It just like shows how your opponents, they're like just extremely dominating you to the point where you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, I agree. And as we have getting into that 10-second timer there, you just feel that the last maybe minute, Kulenovići hasn't taken this seriously, has tried to do some fancy goals. They know they've won this. They knew they won this 2.5 minutes into this final game. As we wait for the ball to hit the floor, eventually to tie this game up, I don't think there will be another goal, and there won't. Kulenovići with the 3 points. They will be jumping above Puncture there in the standings. Kulenovići going into 6th place. Level on games played with the team they jump over.